Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Either way, I'm glad you're here. So the other day I did something completely random and just deleted half of my plaza. I didn't really have a reason, and I absolutely didn't dislike my previous design, but I just kind of felt like it needed a bit of a refresh. I'm just gonna blame it on spring fever, as all the snow has melted where I live and we're starting to have some pretty days weather-wise. Anyway, my plaza sat half naked for a couple days while I figured out what I wanted to do next, and I think I came up with a pretty design for spring. So without further ado, let's get on with it. The brick and iron fence is probably my favorite in the game, and since I used it everywhere in my previous plaza build, I have quite a bit of it, so I decided to just use it again. I like to keep the path leading down to the meadow fairly open, so I began my build by kind of sectioning off where I wanted to place a focal point. I went back and forth on which fountain I wanted to use here, but I did end up settling on the fire fountain. I like that I can surround it with benches and flowers, and I really think that makes it look very spring-like. I had initially planned on changing the pathway in the plaza to the stone path, but the brick is just too perfect in this area and it blends seamlessly with the flower boxes I used, so I ended up sticking with that. I used the wrought iron Mickey arches as the entrance to the little town square area that I was building. Just like the wrought iron fence, I have quite a few of these since I used them in my previous build, and I also just really love them. I also stuck with the wrought iron street lamps as my main lighting source in this area. I would really like to try some new lights in the plaza, but I'm low on iron ingots at the moment, and you'll see why shortly. While I knew I wanted to keep mostly the same buildings in the plaza, I knew I didn't want to keep them in a straight line. I started the build of my town square with Remy's restaurant. If you've watched my previous Plaza Tour, I had previously used Merlin's house here and designed it as a coffee shop. While I liked the idea of having a coffee area in my plaza, I wasn't sold on staging Merlin's house this way. So instead I used one of the items I am most obsessed with in this game, the lighted gazebo, to create the coffee bar area. I knew I was going to use the buildings to design a town square and that this little area would basically be blocked off, so it was essential for me to create a way to get around behind the buildings, so I used the asphalt path to create an alley, and then added the wire mesh fence to add some depth and give the alley the city vibe I was going for. I used the rustic clock tower that we crafted as Minnie's level 10 quest in the center of my little town square. I added some benches and some flowers to dress it up a bit and kind of make it look a little more springy. Now that the grind of crafting this is becoming a distant memory, I'm really enjoying using it in my builds. I continued the use of the brick and iron fence to close off my town square. I don't know how well this is going to work for functionality long term, but so far I'm not having any issues getting around and I'm not having any issues foraging. And I do really enjoy that when I fast travel to the plaza, Scrooge's shop is just right around the corner. I continued the asphalt path behind the buildings for the alley, and eventually this is going to lead to another fun area in my plaza, but that build will be coming in a future video. I used trees, foliage, and the flowers native to the biome to fill in some of the empty spaces, and I did this for a couple of reasons. First, I'm trying to control the spawning of flowers and herbs, as I really don't need to collect any more of these items, and also just because I kind of wanted an overgrown feeling in the alley. For the foliage here, I just stuck with the beach grass and filled in with some of the flowers that are native to the plaza. I wanted it to look similar to wildflowers growing in tall grass. By this point, I was already getting kind of tired of mining for iron, so I stuck with using the fence on just the corner. I added in my favorite tree, more of the beach grass, and some ferns. This actually ended up working out really well, as it allows me to have access to this mining vein from both sides. I continued down the alley, just adding in foliage opposite the buildings to continue the overgrown vibe that I was going for. I made sure when I was doing this that I was able to easily access the other mining spot back here. I carried the overgrown idea to the empty space next to Remy's house, but this time I used the butterfly flowers. I'm still able to easily access this area if something were to spawn here, and by using the butterfly flowers instead of bushes, I can easily move around should I need to forage anything. I ended up deciding I wanted more fencing in the alley, so after grinding for just a bit more iron, I went ahead and placed this. By adding the fence, it kind of helped to bring out the city alley atmosphere that I was looking for. So far, I really like the layout of the buildings, and I've had an easy time walking through this area. All of the flowers I included in the build really make me think spring, and I'm hoping that in our next star path, we'll get some seasonal items that I can incorporate into my design. I'm also really enjoying the variety of the 2 fences that I included in the build, and I absolutely love seeing my villagers sit around the fire fountain. There will be a part 2 to this build coming very soon, so be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when that's uploaded. And let me know in the comments below how often you redecorate your valley. Until next time, friends, peace out.